Hey, I'm Tim.
Yo, I'm Matt, and welcome to the Mr. Maple Show. We're here at another display garden to talk to you about this amazing Laceleaf dissectum here beside us.
Acer palmatum dissectum, Nancy's legacy. This is a plant we like. I'm pretty sure you'll like it too.
That's a wrap. Next tree.
Just playing. Acer palmatum dissectum, Nancy's legacy, also known as Nancy Ann, also known as Toyama, is an awesome plant that really has some nice pink reds in the early spring. The color on it is so unique. It was found as the reversion on Toyama Nishiki, and Nancy Fears of mountain maples loved the plant so much that it was actually named for her later as Nancy Ann, and then became Nancy's legacy.
Yeah, we love this plant. You know, early on we were growing this plant with my dad, and it's just one that stood out amongst all the other red lace leaves. It's a different plant in the landscape. It's definitely more of a picked up pink lace leaf. It's got a lot of good qualities to it. This is actually probably about a 10 to 15 year old plant. Typically more of like a 5x5 in that same time frame. More of a low cascading umbrella. Think of the shape that you're going to get with Toyama Nishiki. It's going to be very similar to that. A little bit slower than some of the other red lace leaves, but what we like about this one is that picked up pink color, especially in the early spring.
Now the picked up pink color is accented by almost the center eyes of it are an emerald green to chartreuse green. And that just makes that pink stand out even more because of that color contrast. This is a plant that gives you some amazing spring colors of this pink. Midsummer it can be more green to bronze, and then in the fall it can give you some really nice shades of orange. For a weeping lace leaf with a nice cascading shape, this is a nice slower growing lace leaf to fit in most people's landscape and gardens.
Now, the original cultivar Toyama Nishiki was found in the Toyama region of Japan, and Nishiki meaning variegated. So this one's often sold under the name Toyama, but we've come to like that name, Nancy's legacy. It's a great way to commemorate her. It wasn't really in the trade officially any other way before that, and so this is a great way to recognize what she did for maples. And it's a fun plant. You know, it's not often you think of a Japanese maple reversion being this special, but this one has some amazing color patterns. You know, early spring is going to be even more picked up pink. We're actually watching this tree right now in mid-May, so it can actually leaf out even brighter pink, fading to this more bronzest pink you're seeing right now, and even a little more bronzest green pink midsummer. Fall colors are oranges to yellows, so it has some great color pattern changes as well.
And Nancy had mountain maples, which was one of the very first mail-order companies of Japanese maples in the United States. She was actually a supplier for J.D. Vertrees. So J.D. Vertrees' trees actually often went out through mountain maples. So there's a lot of rich history behind this tree and behind this cultivar. And this plant just makes a really unique tree. But like one of the things that I like about it most is that picked up pink color, but that smaller stature. I mean, the fact that it's a slower growing lace leaf. You want to give this a little protection from the hot afternoon sun, but this is a plant that just fits in a lot of smaller spaces where a lot of other lace leaves may grow a little bit larger.
I know even before it had a specific cultivar name to it, we would do tailgate markets. My dad's done he had Nichols Nursery, and we kind of built it into Mr. Maple, but he's grown Japanese maples for over 50 years now. And so even once he realized that his Toyama Nishiki had reverted, he continued to propagate it just because he liked the color patterns on this one so much. It was so unique and it stood out so well against a lot of the other lace leaves in the trade. Dad, even early on, was like, I just like this plant. We've got to keep it going. And so he would continue to intentionally propagate the pinker part.
And you see, that's exactly what Nancy had done too. And she loved this plant as well. And that's why a lot of nurserymen went with that name of Nancy's legacy. And I think this is a plant that can be one of those plants in your garden that you really enjoy because of that picked up color, that pink color really just adds a lot, especially with that emerald casting that you see in the center of that chartreuse eye and the green stemming. It really adds something extra to a weeping lace leaf.
Now, I like to pair this one with your traditional lace leaf. So I think this one looks excellent next to something like Crimson Queen. You can really see the color contrast. And you put this next to a traditional Japanese maple like Waterfall, and you're really going to see what makes this one special. It stands out amongst other lace leaves for that color palette. It also makes a great candidate for a container garden because of that overall shape being much smaller. But there are a lot of great uses for this one. It actually can do a good bit of sun up to zone 8. You want to give it protection from the hot afternoon sun in zone 9. Probably a more early morning sun protection even in that zone 9, but it can handle a good bit of sun up to zone 8. Now this tree works zones 5 through 9. The key there being good drainage, so you want to make sure you site it in a place where you have excellent drainage. That's especially true for that container garden. But excellent tree to be growing in the landscape. Don't be afraid of a Japanese maple that may have come about as a reversion. You know, some people may hear that and think, oh, that's not as cool, but we want to do a video and talk about this one. I think it's an excellent plant. I think the colors are exceptional. It's one of those trees that catches the eye. It's often, when we were doing garden shows, one of the trees that people asked about the most in the booth, and it happened to be a reversion of another Japanese maple.
And the cool thing is that it's still a cultivar that's still being propagated because it's so unique. So it is a cultivar in itself. So don't think of it always as just a reversion, but a cultivar itself, because this is an amazing plant that I think a lot of people will enjoy in their garden with these picked up colors and that emerald green color.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the Mr. Maple Show. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share. You can always sign up to get notified when Nancy's Legacy is back in stock on MrMaple.com. There's a place where you can go put your email in on the individual cultivar page for Nancy's Legacy, and we'll send you out a notification as soon as we have these ready if they're not in stock now when you're watching this video.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a good day.